I'm really excited to see all of the different ways people from around the world are going to drive action forward in the next few weeks. That ranges from the negotiators hammering out the details of exactly how the agreement will work, through to cities and states making really ambitious pledges, oftentimes in collaboration with the private sector, about where clean energy and electric vehicles are heading into the future. And this is cooperation that spans countries, low-income countries, high-income countries from every continent coming together to figure out how we can make responses happen.
By withdrawing from the Paris agreements, we have created a leadership void. And I'm hopeful that other countries will step up, China, India, the European Union. I'm also equally hopeful that states and cities and foundations, especially here in the United States, will continue to step up. I mean, we have 20 or more countries around the world now whose emissions have declined for a decade while their economies have grown. We have states like California here making really strong commitments to future reductions and taking advantage of the benefits of green energy. So I'm hopeful both from other countries and from cities and states here in the US.
What I'm really hoping for this year is, as the focus moves away from the United States, for instance, in the case of China, if we can hone the goal a little bit from saying we're going to stop increasing emissions by 2030, actually show us the methods, the regulations, what's going to be done by the Chinese government to actually accomplish that. That would be progress.
Yes, I hope there's more recognition of the links between nature conservation and climate action. These are obviously two major environmental issues in our world, and there are strong connections between the two. We work a lot on nature conservation projects for water security, for example, helping build more resilience to water issues in the US or in Latin America. And so trying to find common sources of funding for these projects will be extremely helpful to connect these issues in people's minds and also just be more efficient in the way we use our limited resources for conservation and climate action.
I'm really hopeful for Bonn, mainly because it reminds me of what happened when the Bush administration pulled out of Kyoto. That action galvanized the global community to write the rules to implement the Kyoto Protocol that led to its success. We're in exactly the same spot right now with respect to the Paris Agreement, and we desperately need the global community to get to yes about the fine print, about the details of how to do this. And I'm hopeful that the Trump administration's actions to pull out of Paris are going to galvanize the community now, just like they were galvanized back in the early 2000s.